All right, let's get some stuff going here. It's time to listen to some music that I'm not going to run in my game because, well, they're way too happy and upbeat and makes no sense for a bunch of haunted dolls fighting each other to the death. But that's okay. I picked it up from RPGMaker a long time ago, and they're kind of cool. Anyway, I'll put them on. And let's see. They're so much louder in my ears than they actually come out on the videos. I have to play with the sound at some point and figure out why that is. Huh. Anyway, so I'm playing today. I was working on the projectiles, and last night I made them far better than they were. Kinda. By just simply putting all the code into Visual Studio Code and then running that instead of running it in the actual engine, just to have one script call as opposed to a lot of script calls, or a lot of interpreter calls, I should say. So, how much of a variety do I want in this first version of this? I could take one of these ones here and then do the impact thing for this and poison them. Huh. I was considering making a system where the enemies could poison the player or freeze the player. Well, maybe not freeze the player, slow the player, because the player is already grossly outnumbered, so I don't think I really want to freeze the player. I think the player would just die in short order at that point, and that wouldn't be any fun. Or really just the system to poison the player in general, because then the enemies could fire, puddles onto the ground, or even put fires on the ground and burn the player. Well, burning the player wouldn't even be that hard. I technically kind of already had that. They would just have to spawn these little fires instead. That's actually not a bad idea. Huh. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make enemies that spawn fires. That could be fun. I could just make this a fire jack instead of a cold jack. Yeah, I don't think I want to freeze the player necessarily. I think I'm going to leave that out. I'm going to have poison and fire in here, but I'm going to leave the player as the only one who can actually freeze anything temporarily for the prototype. For the later game, I think I'll add in both. Sure. Kind of awkward to double name it fire there, but that's okay. It makes sense in my head if I just don't think about it. So this one here will not hit them, but will instead hit the player. But this already hits the player. Yeah, if it's the player with 100 does that. If that's off object damage, then this event ID. It doesn't seem. Oh, I know why I did this event ID, because I have this other system set up, so it should actually. Yeah, okay, it's set up to just do what I need it to do. So then. I'm gonna steal code out of one of these other ones here, because I'm way too lazy to sit there and constantly redo this code every 5 seconds, which is, it's just a lot of extra typing. I just have a system set up here to take the action here, and then when it hits a high enough tick, it actually triggers an action, and then it rolls between the actions to come up with the action it does. This might actually be something I'd rather the boss do and not the random enemies. I think that's actually the case. Yeah, that's a much better idea, because it's already confusing enough with so many enemies doing things. I don't think they also need to do that. I forgot to actually copy and paste this code here. Okay, and basically tonight my plan is to give all the bosses and enemies, like, well, mostly the bosses more attacks. I think the enemies kind of have enough attacks, though I need to do some variety in a couple of them. Like, I have the attacks set up, but not the effects of the attacks. So I need to do that. And so for this one here, this action ticker thing is at the bottom already, so I don't need to do it twice. I am going to set this to 90. Make this enemy attack a little bit more often. And then this will be attack. And I'll put it as 2 of the attacks. And then I could have even greater variety. Like right now it triggers at 1200. But I could also have a different set of attacks if it gets closer. All right, so do I spawn the fires or do I? Well, just spawning the fires wouldn't really be all that great. Oh wait, no. I have a better idea. This is a way better idea. I don't need a projectile. That I just need to tell this to move towards the player. And just make it slow, because just then it's actually a threat, as opposed to now where it's kind of dumb. Be a sentient fire. Skip if you can't move. Do not wait for completion. For now, that's fine. Oh, what's the event number here? The event number is 198. Alright, so I really need 3 monitors for this. Wow. I'm double checking code over on the side without paying attention to. Uh-oh, it'll cover up the OBS. And that means it's pretty hard to check if then, things are working right. But that's okay. I kind of want to make a game using all this music, but last time I did that, I got a copyright strike from the company who produced the music. So I don't use this music in actual games now. Like, I don't care if they copyright strike this random stream. If they want to, whatever, I'll delete it. It's fine. But if everyone who played my game got a copyright strike, that'd be horrible. So no. Okay, this one appears in Um, not 3, I believe. Oops. Pesky windows and its auto enlarge thing, or auto full screen if it touches the side. It's basically like a game of Operation, but with your Windows screen. Don't touch the sides. It would be okay if my monitor wasn't way larger than the 1920 1080. Well, it's just wider by a lot, I should say. All right, let's get the boss to come out, which we've rigged to, if they pick up any 2 of these. Perfect. Okay, well. Launch the projectile? Oh, it launches the Haas. God, those things are brutal. Oh, the wrong button there. You should be spawning 198, and yet here we are. Oh, those are just too fast. I think I'm going to put Game Map Action 3 here. I saw him to pop out of his box whenever he uses a spell. Could make him only vulnerable during that. That'd be kind of awkward, I guess. It could happen. Alright. No reason to keep duplicating all the code. I'll leave it as that because I might move the 20 later to somewhere else. I kind of want this projectile to just be slower. Also, I think he should be slower in general, too. It is, after all, just a giant box sliding on the ground. It shouldn't be that fast. Not as fast as the things that actually have legs. Or the flying things. That's interesting. So let's see if it triggers the fire here or not. That is 198, and it's supposed to spawn 3 from the enemy. Well, actually, I might just. Almost want to show like a target on the ground first before it's going to get there, and then it just erupts under the player. That might actually be better than having it move. Just go a World of Warcraft style on this. I even made a pentagram previously. Perfect. I was supposed for you for the, you know, demonic dolls, but I guess 6 could be my targeting thing. I don't know. It could also just be a red circle. Don't stand here, fool. It will hurt real bad. All right, let's bring this up too while I'm at it. Oh, it does. Okay, well, that attack is kind of lame. I don't like the way it does that. I think it could be better than that. This whole moving towards the player just seems like another projectile. It's not a very good one. So I think in reality, it's going to spawn under the player, but then it's going to do a particle first and then wait, and then remove that particle and add the fire particle if they take too long. Or I mean, it's going to add the fire particle either way, but... For anyone watching a previous stream, they might have saw that I actually bothered to have to relook up my own plugin command, the same one, because I forget them all. It's terrible. I think we just need a generic circle. So let's make a generic circle here. Why does this not want to move? Oh, nice. The art program is randomly frozen. That's okay. It can fix itself. It's free. Most time it works, but every once in a while it just gets a little uppity. Let's see. My previous pentagram was like 180 x 180. It seemed to come out okay. We're not making a pentagram here. It's just going to be a circle. Probably like that. Yeah. Actually, in those they usually fill them in though, right? So I guess I really didn't need a specific circle so much as I needed an actual filled in circle. Right. I guess I'll ghetto it. I almost feel like it should actually be more of an oval to simulate being 2.5D. I think I'm just going to turn that music down a little bit. My ears will thank me. For some reason, my headphones are just so much louder. So much. Yeah, you know, maybe it's a better idea it that way. Well, I could have just done filled in foreground color. So I'm going to do this instead here. I guess you can't do it from the center very easily. I feel like I can come up with a better size for that. Maybe like up here or something. I like that. But instead, not off the sides. Because otherwise it'll look like it ends in a weird location. So probably more like that size, I guess. Do one off the side a little bit, but that's perfectly fine. We just do that. And then we're going to lower its opacity here. I'm going to go over here and select my saving location without doing it all on stream because you never know what kind of personal information you could leak. I feel like streamer proofing your computer is a lot like child proofing a room. The only difference is that the people out there might be really creepy, whereas all children are creepy. Especially the ones with the dolls. Oh my gosh, dolls are creepy. We'll call this the small target circle. Conveniently saved right here. And pop a quest. Alright. So the plan here is to go to this. And we're just going to literally borrow these. Actually, no, this one's the same, so let's go with that and just borrow it as it is. Let's introduce a weight. I guess we'll give the player, like, do we give him a second? Maybe 2 seconds to react to it. I can make it to do more damage. I've already created a common event that runs the command to despawn the particle. Conveniently particle despawn. I really didn't want to put this command in over 100 times, which is entirely what would have happened. I have a particle that just literally does a thing that sits there, known as Crazy Mirror. So dubbed after the strange portal mirror I used to use, where one half of it was just the mirror itself that was just frozen. And didn't have to change, and then one was a particle. It was like a little vortex to go into. Small target circle. And I remove the thing to move like that. Okay. See how that looks. I'm probably going to make a specialized fire form too. I had a fire that I'd originally made for art, and it just, it seems like I could do maybe a little better. Or maybe make it just visually different than the player's one. This is the wrong one. Yep. I need to lock the player's attacks out from while they're going through the actual dialogue there. It's not really that important yet, but it's something I gotta remember to do. I haven't quite figured out exactly where each enemy is going to go. I keep giving him different attacks, so I'm not sure which ones are actually the most powerful ones and which ones are just kind of pointless. Other than the clowns are kind of weak. So I assume they'll be first. They don't do anything terribly special. You double check that, nothing weird. Put a fire out there, but I didn't see it. God, those things hit so fast. I think the projectiles don't vanish fast enough. Okay, I have a new plan. Kill off some of these things. Yeah, I don't know. Those projectiles are not working correctly. Huh. Like, it should have already vanished, but it didn't when it hit that. Well, it was late night code. And it was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, don't need that. Too many things on one screen here. Oh, nope. Grab this one. Jeez. Too many black lines up there to grab. Thankfully the stream key is private anyway, so you can't really see anything. I'm going to test something here just to make certain it actually worked right. It does say I am live. Oh, nope. Let's make certain it's actually public. There's a lot of things I've never really done on this. I'm just kind of experimenting and we're seeing where everything goes. I haven't been become the master yet. Or the not even really the apprentice. One day I will count myself a Padawan at this, but after what 3-4 days, you know, probably not quitting my day job. Probably not quitting the second job. Probably not quitting any job. Just let's make certain it's actually probably just derping along with it. But I get so much more work done, so overall it's not a bad plan. Yeah, I need to figure out why these aren't firing very well. Do hits. Actually, it'll go. Yeah, it'll go. Probably down here, actually. Actually, this will be blocked, but I'll just copy paste that. Okay. Blocked. Yeah, and I should have actually done like EID, I guess, just to see. I don't know how useful that actually is, though, thinking about it. Unless it announces. I should probably do another one up here. I guess I'll follow its full path here and see where it goes. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to add more time to this. I didn't see it do it. Oh, I see why I didn't see it. I didn't actually give it the 2 seconds before I did that. I'm going to go with 3 seconds, though, because I look away, look back, and it's already there. Just make it more powerful, I guess. But we'll worry about damage numbers later. I don't really care that much right now. Most of the time you're going to be running from the boss, not sitting there trying to see if its stuff is making the right flashy things on the screen or not. So, trying to work on the jacks. I should probably make the one right by it, the actual thing that they're using. This character does not trigger very, she needs a much farther trigger away. It's the one over. Yeah, I really need 3 screens. I see now why some people have them. I didn't really before, but now I finally have a purpose for it. Why is it not impacting? It's actually bouncing on top of the player. And then playing the hit thingy. Huh. Now that is weird. But the hit animation is playing even though it's not actually triggering the player damage or even the impact thingy at all. Huh. Huh. Okay. Huh. Well, that one just spams the screen as shown over here. But you're seeing the same numbers over and over and over and over, so they're clearly not going away. Like, this is the same number for a very long time. Just same two. Not particularly useful information. This particular thing checks to see if it hits a Q movement collider or not. I wrote it a while ago. Well, by a while ago, I mean about a week ago, when I was decided the distance calculations weren't as efficient. I don't really need that right now. Also, we're just going to reduce all these things damage down, so this way I can look at things. And then this one too, I don't really want to be smacked around the whole time while I'm figuring it out. Oh, I gotta close the previous version. All right. Oh wait, don't go in that one again. Mistakes were made. Twice already. I don't think a third time's a charm needs to really happen here. I think it can be avoided. 3 strikes you're out should not happen. Okay, let me bring this up too while I'm at it. It's like it's running out. I wonder if there's an option I can check here. It's a problem with other people's plugins. There's lots of weird things they do. And the mid-pass might be necessary. I turned off true pixel movement. I was using it for quite a while. But it kind of interferes with the movement patterns. So, like, they move tiny little jerking amounts instead of actually moving a full movement. Q movement exists though, so I could use that on like a Q move, which is a pixel-based move, but it doesn't work that great. Huh. Well, that fixes part of the problem. But you'll notice they're still here. Okay. Hmm. 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 Okay, so totally lost my place on what I was even thinking about. Yeah, they weren't vanishing, that's what it was. It should flip itself switch D on. I'm going to include a thing here, so it just flips the cell switch D of the thing instead of me having to put it over and over here. Actually, I'll copy so it's nicer looking. It's not nicer looking, whatever. I often put little things like this so I don't have to read through the code. It's at the very bottom. It's just like, oh yeah, if this is going, flip that. The player one works pretty well. It doesn't have any code in to deal with the if it collides with the destroyables. So let me fix that. And this will be map blocks that it says. Sure. And this will be destroyables. I'm just going to type destroyables. I don't need that extra stuff here. And then I need the array for the destroyables. It's actually hidden up here too. It says it. No, it doesn't. 201. Yeah, that's pretty much what I want. This is just the page 2 for all the enemies, and I'm just, it's just common code that I want to run everything, but I'm putting more specific things for all the projectiles and stuff, instead of having a common event do it. Eventually I'll have other stuff in here for all the enemies that run it and all the destroyables. I'll test it. Desperately needs 3 screens. Do not go in that one. I should just either put the player start right here or put the... Actually, I should just play the player start right in that picture. I don't know why I haven't. What's this saying? What in the world? That one destroyed, but those ones are like right in it. I wonder if the impact only works if it's... Huh. Why? Oh, why? Oh, actually, that's why I named it. So that's fine. But I made a mistake there, but it doesn't appear that I did. Hmm. Hmm. It's almost like this collision thingy doesn't quite work. But it does sometimes, but not all the time. Hmm. Well, there's no effect on hitting enemies. Try to if else this. I kind of want to run all the different commands. But I guess technically if it does an if else setup, which I really don't like, but fine. It won't always run every command. If it hits the first one, it will stop. I should actually just done it like this. Feels gross. Else ifs. Why'd you saying copy paste there? Okay. Oh, never mind. I don't know what I'm thinking. Okay, we want the other one to run every time. I almost want to put this down here instead. Because the status menu is on, I don't want it to actually take up the lifetime on it, because then the player can go into the status menu to destroy projectiles, and that would be dumb. Also, this should probably be like maybe 150. They already go so obnoxiously far. How about it? Destroyables never comes up. It hits the map blocks and looks though. But Destroyables never comes up. Hmm. Well, it looks like on page 4. It just runs object damage, so the spawn table for that is a projectile. Object destroyed happens for projectile. $199 is actually what it should be calling for that. And then I want the particle despawn code in there. Alright. Grab the event object. I was also going to investigate why it was hitting the destroyables and not doing anything. Oh wait, never mind. 2 at once. What I need. Stupid. Wait, why am I tracking the number of projectiles? Wait. Never mind, 194. I'm dumb. This is Shrivel's ribs. Just dumb. Hmm. I'm gonna take these and move them below. This is like the item spawns and the encounter table, which everything else is literally pages or things to deal with the enemies, and this is just not exactly part of that. It almost feels like it should be a different plugin, but whatever. For purposes of this, it can stay. Let's see, collides there, sure. Nope. I think the projectile needs to push itself into that array too. Oh wait, I was looking for the array for the enemies here, which is 189. Now it does something no matter which one it hits. You could make it where they don't hit that array. Eh. Had a cough for a second there, weird. Coming down with the plague, oh my god. Not really, but I think I just know how to make that. I need to probably remember to drink water or something while I talk to myself all this time here. Alright, so everything looks like it's saved and good to go. Working way better now. Oh. There we go. That even works too. I mean, way too long, and I didn't seem to damage the player. It should. Oh, do those get destroyed by these two? Actually, I want to get by it. Oh, those actually destroy destroyables. Okay. Am I okay with it destroying destroyables? Or do I want the player to be the only one who can do that? I don't need that open. Getting these hit are destroyable is actually kind of hard. Maybe a creepy clown laugh or something for the Jack in the Box when it does a little haws. People understand why that's the haws are coming out. It's just attacking you with the laughter. Come on, random enemy spawn. I want to see if it hits one of these destroyables or not. Come on. Really? Well, maybe it got destroyed by that. Well, we don't go far enough. lot of boxes in the area. It's such a fringe case, it just never comes up. That's awesome. Because that means that it won't matter that much. Come on, fire something at it. Nope. Stupid fires. He's like, haha, you can't hide behind this box now. You have given me a great weapon. It's actually not that great. Okay, it's pretty obnoxious if you can't see the ring that appears underneath the player. I'll just keep an eye on it and watch it later. Okay, so what I have learned though is it's kind of an irrelevant thing. Like, it's so fast. I mean, so slow. I kind of want to make it do more. I wrote this so long ago, and it's just really crap code that I've cobbled together and haven't really ever updated. Do I want it an X around the enemy? Or I could actually just spawn it directly in here like that and not even do anything special. Like, I might be doing it too complex for no reason. Kind of like the Michael Reeves thing where they're like, oh, you could do this and it would take 20 minutes. Or you can write this entire side program that will do it in a much longer period of time. Probably not a good plan. This will take only a week to do this task, but then you'll accomplish the task in 10 minutes once you've already created this incredibly complicated program. Set self variable distance. And we'll set it to 3. Yeah. Oh, this is already so tedious, I don't even want to do it. It still will be faster. I'm only going to do this specific attack for this one person, so. Again, ridiculous amounts of code. Seems insane. Actually, no. Copy? Sometimes this keyboard gets a little finicky the more programs I've running. I don't know why. Actually, that's going to get a little confusing. I'll do D. So plus D. Plus D. Minus D. Plus D. Minus D. That's just way, way easier. What would be the good one for this one here? I can do diagonals from them too. Could also do like one under the player, then one to the sides too. Actually, I'm gonna start doing code like that. It's easier. Come on, copy paste. Paste. This keyboard is just going to sleep on me. It's only 2:03 a.m. keyboard. You got to go until at least 5 a.m. That's real bad time for actual game devs. Anyone who says different, nobody likes them. Who cares? Really, they just haven't been on a late night coding binge. That's all. Like a real game dev. Yes. We'll also do it like this. Except for we'll get rid of this one here, I guess. Make it a normal one there, and then have it do the Y is there. Now this enemy will start spawning weird circles all over the place instead of just projectiles, which is kind of boring. You know, projectiles are cool and all, but I think spawning events that do stuff is just so much more exciting than a constant bullet hell. Oops, I ran into the wrong one. Well, I'm thinking about it. Which one spawns here? I want my code for areas in here. 169 is the exit event. This event doesn't have lockdown. Switches. Every event's rigged for lockdown to move them to a separate page, so that's why I never have to worry about it. Just trigger this one thing and it fixes everything. When you exit an area, lockdown turns off, right? I mean, you don't have to, right? It wouldn't make any sense if we just locked everything down and then went out of there, but I guess I should double check and make sure lockdown is somewhere in here. Yeah, it already does it. I'm going to make a picture of the jacks. Which I probably should. I'm not really 100% certain how many of these enemies are going to be that necessary, but why are there random lights? There's no things there. Mistakes were evidently made. I never turn lockdown off is a problem. Oh, actually. I don't need anything else there. Okay, ooh. Hmm. It's not hitting the player. Oh, that's obnoxious. Little shadow box. Hard to see. Good, good. The hit collision on it is not as good as I want it to be. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Not because the player hitbox is so small. It makes it easier to get around stuff, though. Otherwise, you kind of get stuck on things because she's really not very big. Hmm. 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 I'm afraid of this, though. They moved really jerkily, and it didn't come out very good. It's almost like I just need a bigger player collider. No, you don't really need to worry about default player collider, I don't think, because I have it set here as well, so. Maybe a slightly bigger collider. I'm not forcing to get much closer before doing something. Hmm. Huh. Huh. I think it's time to change the music up. It's starting to get annoying. I've gone through it a few times at this point, I think. Maybe you focus stuff. Just in case you ever want to listen to all this stuff for free, it's available. Just look up Ufolka when you on Google, and it's all available for free to use in your game. Very nice. Keyboard is being crappy. Better listen to all boss battles. This code is my boss tonight. I think this character won't teleport anywhere near as often. I could make the player way slower and the game would be completely different. I could slow everything down so much to make it really like Diablo, but unlike Diablo, this has a limitless supply of enemies, so I do have to make them significantly more threatening and just force the player to constantly fight as they're trying to accomplish the goal. I could actually reduce it down some, like it was a byproduct of how art worked, where it was, against the time limit essentially of the world being destroyed. Whereas this, it's really not that. I could also just reduce the number of enemies so it would be less spastic very easily. It wouldn't take much. I also don't want these enemies to be that incredibly hard. Yeah, those really aren't that threatening because you have 2 seconds, and by then you can be really far from the enemies. The fires hurt the enemies. Huh. All right, so that's fine. I think they need to be a little faster. Huh. Hmm. That's probably fine. I kind of want to make a better particle. Yeah, I need a better particle. My previous projectile thing there. Let's do this to fix the thing so it's actually bigger. That's how we make pixie particles. If you don't know, I originally made a pentagram shot last night. Almost like, well, I'm already using the pentagram somewhere else, so it wouldn't really work too well there. Actually, can I write danger on this? Come on. Where'd you go? Actually, let's do this. Um, I almost don't know if that's even better. It might be worse. Eh, I kind of think everyone knows to not stand in the funny circles, right? I guess I'll try it with the danger on it just to see how it works out. I don't know if I saved it or not, whatever. um, just grab the emitter for this. Um, here go that. That's what it was. Think about it for a second there. Kind of wish I'd eaten before I did this. Mistakes were made. So new to this whole streaming thing, I didn't think about that. Which particle was I even using for this? Small size fire. I may grab a food thing and just drag it back over and work while I'm doing this. Not even worry about it too much. It's not like anybody's watching at the moment, so I can probably do that. But I kind of like to treat it like everyone's always watching, so this way I know to, I work harder, honestly. Uh, so Black Fog 1 and Fog Red. Oh, not that. That's okay. I think I'm also going to make a quick thingy for this that is a 1920 1080. And then I think my actual plan with this is just like a be right back thingy. So that I can do that and then people won't look at it all funny and weird. My collection of 9 million backups. Always back up your game. Look at all these backups. Backups. So many of them. Back your game up every day. It's way better. Anyway. Friendly reminder so you don't lose your stuff. I might just do this really simple one here and not make anything new. Be right back. That's way too big. Over time, I plan on making all these things. I just I'm making it as I go because I mean I was a professional artist and I did it for a lot of advertising and the like, so I was really good at making it very quickly and just stuff that got the job done. And my stuff was seen by millions because it was usually just as advertisements on various things. I had advertisements running on 4chan for a very long time. Oh gosh, those are I actually paid for those for my own sites. So something like this is actually back when it was a little smaller, so it was only $100 a month. Man, I eventually got rid of it because it went from 100 to 1,000 a month, and I was like, guys, that's a little expensive. I don't got that. In hindsight, I probably should have went with it anyway because there was still good money made off them. Incredible traffic. I don't think I want that. Is that a glue work here? Just a quick down and dirty cheesy here. This will do for now. Like I say, I never even thought about eating this stuff. I can get like water and use the restroom. Seems like a solid plan to me. Wait, no. This will do for now. And then the actual plan is to just open it up in the photo thingy and drop it right in front of the screen temporarily. Excellent. Or not full screened, more like just this blocking the screen, and that's close enough. A little jank, but hey. This is actually the 6th stream thinking about it, so you know, I'm allowed to be jank at the 6th stream. Not exactly, you know, Asmongold at this point. Maybe someday, I'm sure, we'll get there with just RPGMaker. Yeah, probably not. That's okay. I'm still having fun with it, so that's all that really matters. All right. No, anyway, I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. It's my first leaving the stream temporarily thing just to get food and use the restroom. Now I feel like one step along my incredibly long journey to be a real streamer. And by real, I mean I just work on game dev while I'm going. It's just how it is. Oof. But I probably will mute temporarily and munch food while I work because I need to learn to eat before this. This is just. It's a whole new world. I get so much more work done though. I mean, things just get done this way. It's just nice. It's kind of like almost being a perpetual game jam where you just are focused and practically overheating there. I didn't realize I was wearing a sweater and just sitting there in front of the computer just going nuts on it and just burning up. Terrible. Terrible plan. Don't do that. Don't burn up. Just on fire. Yeah, fire at game dev. The best. Alright. Let's see. What am I working on here? I don't appear to have a good alternate fire image yet. I'm gonna have to make something. The best thing about Pixie Particles, he just makes some stupid little thing, and that's usually good enough to make an interesting particle. Let's see here. I think I might make my own another particle here. Let's see, or another picture for a particle. Let me bring up these things so I can get the right size for how big that is, because I want to kind of keep it about the size of a little bigger than a square. I'm not really beholden to the whole 48 by 48 thing like normal people are in RPGMaker, since I'm using Cube Movement's collider system. So I kind of can do whatever I want. Within some reason. I mean, it still is RPGMaker. It still doesn't handle a lot of stress as well as, I don't know, most game engines. But as long as you clean your, as long as you take your stuff out of memory really fast, it's not too bad. If you leave it in memory, oh my gosh, RPGMaker will falter, it will collapse, bad things will happen, the world will end. Cats and dogs will live together harmoniously. It'll just be the strangest thing. We just don't want this. It's just straight up Ghostbusters at that point. No, Ghostbusters 2, I think, but that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I need this. 200x200. And just a little blurb like this, two of those was enough to make a weird fire thing. Think about this here. I wish I just had a particle I could use for it, but all the flame particles kind of suck. Like the ones that came with RM, they kind of suck. They just look a little weird. Because everything else just has an aesthetic that fits a real specific thing. And those just don't. And I don't really know how to make an effects here thing. I actually know how to make particles in UE. But I never bothered to learn effects here. I want to, but it's just so complicated. And it doesn't really have good documentation, or at least it didn't. everything was like in Japanese at the time. I'm like, I'm not really learning Japanese there, buddy. Maybe we'll try this. We'll do fire red. I guess I can do different colored fires too. Problem with these particles, there's no easy way to change the color. It's not like my plugin where I can just change the color. It's not how it works. I'm actually beholden to pre-made files. Whatever these are called. I'm beholden to JSON files. I should just know that offhand, but I don't. Because I just, I don't know. Oh wait, why am I doing that? That's stupid. Before I do anything of the sort, we're gonna come over here and see if I can look better or not in this. I like that better by far. Wow. So you know what this means, right? It's time to make one in black too. Alright, let's make another layer. This is how we just get it done. I'm going to swap like that. And then fire black. I apparently can't type. Don't mind me. Typing is for people who are, you know, not me. And then I almost wanted it to be a different color even. Oh, now it just looks so much more evil. Not bad. You always want to try to save as many particles as possible off of these because, you know, if you don't, it can overwhelm poor RM. And this to, I guess we'll call it enemy fire. Take that and move it over into my particles directory. Get a copy of the name. I'll change this to right here. Fire red. Fire black. Got to add it to particle emitter. That should be everything I need. So now it should say danger underneath them, and it should have a different looking particle than the players. I could lower the opacity even, potentially, too. Make it more ghostly. It's not a bad idea. It's really not. Hmm. I was trying to go to a specific spot. That's weird. There must be some issue with key pathfind. It's pretty clear that there's an issue there. The boss really isn't that threatening. I think everything needs a timer set up to an action timer. They're all just so quick. But I also want them to be really threatening to the player because the player's so quick that they have to be threatening if the player doesn't keep moving. Decisions. I could put all the actions as variables on the same thing. Hmm. It's not a bad idea. This also checks only if they're at a distance, though. I don't really want them to stop when it gets within range either. Maybe try to get a little closer. No, he actually is going to be a little stronger at a greater distance. No, I think I like it better just thinking about it. That's just stupid. It's got all these projectile things and stuff. I gotta check to see if the player is close. It's not a bad idea. So the player's like close to him, then you could do that. Yeah. Gonna make it so when the player gets close, it's gonna switch to putting the things around itself. Yeah. I'm not sure how many attacks I'm gonna get close like this, but I'm gonna just give it at least one for now. And 1 and 4 it triggers it up close. Yeah, it's just a bonus attack if the player's nearby. Should be interesting. This boss is fast becoming the most complex boss. Those might need to be faster than the player. I've kind of nerfed the crap out of them. They went from being ridiculous to not particularly even relevant. I guess I'm not trying to make Dark Souls here, though, so, you know, it's got to be at least reasonably fair. You can get trapped pretty easily. Especially with all the junk. Could lower the player's health and just use hearts or something instead of these bars. I almost wanted to run from the player. It'd actually be better to have instead of attacks like that, and do I just have distances, or maybe up close versus far away? We'll just have to move away from player, or is there any other possible options too? Because it kind of wants to sit within a certain range of the player, but not be like right next to him or anything crazy like that. Let's see here. It might just do actions based on distance. Having all the attacks separate like that isn't necessarily that great. Like just, or actually have like movements for when they're far away, and then attacks for when they're attacks and movements for when they're close, so they can kind of move around the battlefield a bit. Actually. $168. So this way it does a jump and leaves them all right next to the player, which is not that bad of an idea. You might just want to charge the player the whole time. They have to stay within a relevant distance of the player, and the player is always moving around, so... But if I force the player to have to kill the boss to progress, then I guess the boss doesn't have to chase the player down. But if the player can get far enough away, the player can just sit and heal. Unless I have some sort of restrictor on the heals, which I'll probably have to do. Yeah. I'm gonna have to make some promo footage of this. It's gotta be pretty, a lot more in depth. I'm gonna make a cool boss summon thingy too and have it slide onto the screen and do some cool stuff instead of just, what it's doing now, where it's just a text thing that appears. Hmm. Starting to feel like a real boss. Got people asking questions over there in the Discord. Yeah, normally I'd answer some questions, but not a very good stream if you sit there and do that all the time. So they're, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and do screen, answer questions on there while on the stream. For people who aren't actually in the chat, that'll work out. Could ask them to the chat to answer them, but kind of here to work on my own game. I guess I could be a helper or something, I suppose. Teach people how to do things. Definitely going to use the streaming method here on YouTube to capture me just, live talking about things and make help videos that way, because if I got to sit there and make the perfect help video, it'll never get done. But if I sit there and just make it there, at least I'll have a video, which is probably better than not having any videos, which is kind of what I was doing. I haven't seen the other thing there where he jumps backwards. Everyone's always enemies around too, so they make the boss that much more dangerous. We did it right there, but hopping backwards isn't that great. Hmm. Apparently I drop a lot of frames on this. My internet must not be very good. It's not surprising, I guess. I'm sure I'll have to figure something out. But, I mean, currently nobody's even really watching, so I'm just not going to invest too much into making a great stream that nobody watches. It's mostly just so that I work harder. Hmm. Let's make it like a 50-50 for the moment. I'll put them both on 1 and 2 so I don't have to have some other crazy setup here. So many mixed attacks in there that I probably can't just have this thing that does it all for me. I can't have exactly the same weight commands and everything because they're not always doing it in chat. Also, while I'm at it, I could technically do this. Doesn't really work. You can only have alpha one way or another. Nah, it looks way better the other way. The particle's probably fine for now. Not gonna worry too much about it. A little too complex there. I wanted to harass the player more. She's definitely a problem. Like, you can kind of faff about a bit, but I want the enemies to deal more damage. Like, I remember the fire was actually hitting the player a couple times. Maybe a longer wait between damages? I don't know. That's not terrible. Give him a second per damage tick. I think the distance is about the right thing, too. It could make it hop like hop straight up in the air and land right where it was, and then have it um, shoot fire out that way. Well, that seems kind of like an angry attack for a giant box. Then again, it is a giant box. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. What's the way to adjust dropping frames on this? It's all these things I don't know about for streaming. When I look at the videos, they don't seem that bad. I mean, the action's a little like crappy as far as the way the game looks. 'Cause it looks way better in real life than it does in that by a little bit. Otherwise, hmm, hmm. My boss is not very threatening. Then again, these guys aren't very threatening either with their slow projectiles. Um, let's make a self variable for lifetime for these, so I can dictate which each projectile, how long it lasts in the code. Mm. It's actually one word. And we'll do 200 for their lifetime. Let's just add it to all of them. These ones just have the same code as before. I haven't changed it. Eventually, they'll get a code that's more accurate, or I'll probably get moved into the other code online. Well, no, I mean in the plugin. But not right now. Oh, I already have a lifetime set when I'm probably up here, right? I had to munch some food because I didn't bother to eat before this, which is a mistake. So I was eating a lot, but it's okay. I was just doing variable lifetime on all the particles, so I don't have to. Yep. Hmm. I'm supposed to keep changing. It's kind of a slightly visual bug because the boss appears underneath it, sort of. Hmm. Hmm. I'm not sure I can fix that. I guess they have to have their very own specific Z set for it. It seems like an incredible amount of work. And I don't really know how I feel about that. You know? Like, for one visual bug, I think I'll leave it as it is for this. It just seems like something that's going to go down a rabbit hole. Part of the best thing about streaming so far is it's helped me avoid a lot of rabbit holes. Where I just go, yeah, this is a thing I could do, and then I don't do it because it avoids the rabbit hole. It's not very threatening. It's hard to make them just not like to make them reasonably balanced. So they're either just broken, just OP, or they're, you know, super weak. A lot of it is just in how they move because they never keep track of the player. Like if they avoid the player, then it doesn't. The player can just kind of run away. They don't threaten the player enough. I almost want multiple collision behaviors too, but hmm. These events are starting to get pretty complicated here. This is just like a logic tree here that's written very awkwardly, I think. I like to push the code to the events for this very reason. Or like the various projectiles and things, so I don't have this all stuffed into one ridiculous event. Just because the system for looking at it is, well, to put it bluntly, crap. Like, the fact that you can't even enlarge this content thingy, like, all this time, like, really? Like, I couldn't just drag the window? Like, window dragging is, it's a thing from a long time ago. I think we can go to the early 90s where that was a thing that they added to everything but this. I guess I could make a second collision behavior. Oh, I know why I had a stuck variable. Is so that it would trigger the it would trigger the boss teleport, but the boss just teleports randomly anyway after a while, so it's kind of irrelevant to check for it being stuck. Alright, so we'll have to just immediately turn the other way if it hits something. Take a couple sets forward, and then I'll turn left to right, and then take some more steps forward. Wish I could put this all in one command thing. It's so much easier than instead of having to have the set a self-variable like that. Or if we just have built-in self-variables, it'd be so much easier too, but we don't. I see why they have giant water bottles, streamers do, for purposes of doing this. I didn't get a very large water. Then I ate food. Now I'm just regretting my life decisions that I didn't have more water. Hmm. Huh. How many bosses do I really want to have online for this? I could just have a few areas and not have everything. Yeah, I could have 4 areas. I don't know. I don't want to make too many bosses for the prototype. I want people to test the prototype out. I already see how much work is going to go into each of these bosses. It's basically going to take me a night per boss, basically. Today I also worked on the projectile things as well, so I'm doing okay. This boss is somewhat relevant. I think the boss needs to move at a normal speed. The slow speed just isn't happening. Did I add that Sammy to the too far thing? I might have. Oh, and then it just sets it right here. I'm gonna switch up my music. I almost think the specialized enemies won't make the cut to the prototype. I think maybe the shadow ones will, just because they're kind of hard to see. But if you're only going to have that many levels, you really don't want to have too many enemies around for the player to figure out. It might be too complicated. In such a short period of time, you don't really have an explanation on how everything works. It's fun for me because it's hectic, but it's also really hard for me too, which means that it's probably grossly hard for a normal player. Or at least it's difficult. She's not really hard, but I definitely set them up here. The teddies are really hard. Yeah, the third enemy might not be necessary for this. I might remove them for that and just do these. I want a playable prototype. And these ones are going to require me to code some extra things in for the player, which I guess isn't that hard. Um, all right. And now all the characters have a poisoned variable I can check for, which might actually just be better than the other system I was using. The self variable thing there. It's all you have to do to actually add a self variable to an enemy or to all the players. You just literally make this one thing right here. That's it. You're welcome if you were ever looking to figure that out. So the player can't have a self variable. So my collider system doesn't make any sense for the player. I copied the code, so why that's in there. Um, actually, that can do easier. Oh, I hate that the player doesn't have a built-in option for this. I could just have a global switch that's flipped for the player to be poisoned, but my problem with that is I can't change the damage for each different type of enemy that hits it. I guess, how many times can you really be poisoned, right? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. It seems like a deep coding thing that's going to be a bit much for 3:26 a.m. All right, let's see. I almost just need one for if it impacts the player. It already has one for it if it impacts the player, though. I guess technically. How do I have this written? Let me think about this here. It's over in that. I think I have code written right here in one of these. I guess we'll make a ghetto system first. Don't make the complex system first. Make the simple one first and then update it later for what's better. You can definitely tell I borrowed this code from Art. Oh yeah, I skipped this because the player, enemy's actually hit the player this time. Did I have player switches somewhere? I don't seem to have additional ones there, apparently. Bruh. Let's not do it this way. Or like this. And then for other players damaged, bring all the code in here. The idea doesn't even matter. Here's copy this code. Keyboard's probably asleep. I don't mind, I copied it from Mira, so I have to actually make a script command because it doesn't copy the other way. Like, it doesn't copy the actual concept of a script command. We'll just do one for now, actually. I just want it to work. So I make better than that, and then what we're gonna do is the keyboard do what it's supposed to do. Greater than this, it damages the player. It'll trigger every second. Make this really easy, and otherwise it will shut the switch off. We'll do this just to make it easy to test it. I'm not going to make it where the player tends to hit themselves with this, but for now, I can just fire when he's out and see if it works, and I don't do anything special. I'll see the system like this, make it easy. Make a more complex one for later, but just having status amounts for the player isn't terrible. Could make it tick down over their head too, for how long they have it. That seems like a big complex thing for a system that's not even set up yet. What am I doing? I just need to do this. Okay. It's weird. You thought it would work. Where's the error here? Well, damage is easy. Why are you not copying this? Man, the keyboard tends to get a little wonky by the end of the night. Right. Let's see if the code's even triggering. I might have messed something up somewhere in here. I do that a lot. The later in the night it gets, the more likely I just make some weird errors. Yeah, go to the 22 minutes or something. After about 3 hours of streaming after working a full day, that's kind of about what I got going. Anytime you start getting past 10 hours of work in a day, it's just... And I think we're well past that at this point, but whatever. It was a profitable day. Oh, I see where I made the mistake. I'm just going to copy and paste the code, and I forgot to actually change this to this. That's all. I really wish the player counted as just like every other event. So here there'll be two different systems, one for the player and one for everything else. It almost makes you want to move events around and not actually use the player at all. That'd be kind of funny to do. You could just leave the player completely out of this. Alright, well, I worked something there. Is this used somewhere, or am I just guessing it, actually? Fine. It's actually the most work I put in this game, like most focused work, where I just haven't taken really a lot of breaks. I guess I did eat in the middle of this one, but usually I end up kind of derping around, messing with YouTube, and I get a lot less done, you know? But now, no, I just get a lot done. Most days pretty good. That works. But I get poisoned. Oh. I did it half right. Because the player is the one emitting the damage, so... Also, like, I don't even need a spawn table. I could just have an EID, but... Well, the spawn table differentiates which type of event, because they're all events, so... Knowing which the specific event is doesn't really necessarily help differentiate all the various code options. Let's see here. My little Haas. They block just fine. Sure, actually. There we go. Does it stop at 10? You know why it doesn't stop at 10? Because I didn't actually negate the... I didn't remove one from the poison timer each time. Oops. It's okay, we'll make it look nice here. That was stupid. I wiped out the damage thingy. Dumb. So dumb. I should have just canceled. Oops. or it's just object damaged. My brain right now isn't going to remember hardly any of this, so, you know, we're pretty much in copy pasta mode. I'll get a better word for damage in the future, but for now, I don't really care that much. Oh, that's right, and the code to do this is already over here. Um, Just a little switch there to check if it's off. If it's off, then you, I don't need anything else on that. Then you apply the particle. And if it's on, you don't. So it just does it once. But I will run Z-set the whole time. Which just sets it based on the player, so this way it'll show up on them and adjust with them as their Z adjusts. And then respond to this coding question. I'm amazed how much more I just know about this engine than all these people, and here I am just looking to more towards, like, you know, UE, like it's that the meme of the guy looking at the woman passing by while his girlfriend's looking on aghast, going, "Oh no!" Yeah, it's kind of that. UE is the other girl. But I really want to finish this. I don't want to start another project from scratch. It's just not a thing. I'll do it eventually, but I'll never get done if I keep moving to something better each time. Don't do this event ID. We'll call it player poison because players don't get poison once. Player poisoned. Only one player, so it doesn't need to have anything specific to an event. Or an ever-changing variable thing like that. I will answer this person's question for him, but I'll have to look it up to do it because I don't remember right now. He wants to change variables, which is just set him to like the player location, which is just the worst way to do this. You should always do gameplayer.x and gameplayer.y. Let's see. It's under. Alright. Testing the player's poisoned. I could add a frozen command into or a slowed command. I don't think frozen is going to be there. Can you even change the player's color, maybe? I don't really have a built-in system to change the player's color on the fly, though. Do I want that? I don't know. It seems overkill. I should put the word slow above them, I guess. Put like a little particle on them so they just move slower. Oh, actually, I have the command to just poison myself. The graphic did not go on them. Well, once again, my evil copy-paste ways have come back to bite me. Yeah. Jonesy set. I hear him taps out. Now it's just trying to do a coding thing where I'm just explaining coding to this guy instead of doing the thing there. I think at this point I'm going to be happy with the poison setup. Wait, no, one more thing I want to do. I want to see the poison appear on the player. And then after that, I think I will call it for the night. And then I'll help this guy's coding thing more. I was going to end about 3 minutes anyway, so that seems reasonable enough. 2 hour stream, no, 3 hour stream. After a nice full day of work. Sounds good to me. Yeah. Wish I could stream earlier in the day. I'd be a lot more energetic instead of right now where it's the time I got. Didn't appear on the player. Why? Why, oh, why, oh. I'll just type it. Also do... Just explain how to reference the player. Oh, I was going to do a console command here. Oh. I see the error right there. Wait, is that the error? Oh my gosh, I forgot the actual command for that. Do. This is why I usually have to stop after a while, because I'll just forget this stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I know it's written in here. It's -1, that's what it was. Yeah, I was just knocking around. I have my own one for it and everything, like my own way to reference the player, which is just P. There are a lot of people who use -1 or 0. I just find that very unintuitive, so I don't tend to use it. I feel pretty good about where this is going tonight, though. I mean, I've gotten the projectiles working better. I have a boss. The bosses do attacks. The boss spawns fire around in various places. So it's pulling out a bunch of behavior patterns. And now I have a system in to poison the player, too. I don't have an enemy that does it yet, but I'll make enemies that can poison the player. A lot more things going on. Oh, I just need to do this. That's right. Oh, I copied the freezing one. Wow. I have to just explain everything to these people because they just have no idea. I don't mind too much. But it would be nice if they at least looked first before saying, "You can't do that, blah, blah, blah." Of course you can do that. I literally am doing it right in front of you. Like, don't call me a liar with the evidence staring you in the face. That's just weird. You'd be surprised how many people just have this belief that their world is exactly as they think it is, and they couldn't possibly be wrong. Seems weird to die on that hill for programming, but some people. These are the same people who preload their stuff in JavaScript, never realizing they're actually causing their own throttling problem. Oh, if only they knew. It's funny, funny people. Oh, there we go. Perfect. This is everything I've ever wanted in my life in the last 15 minutes. Yes, there we go. Perfect. And it removes itself. Nice. All right, I think I have another one here. I'll make a quick one here. Copy. Put keyboard around so it wakes itself up. Slowed. Slowed. Slowed graphic. All right, and then should just copy paste it slowed. Slowed timer. All right, and then for the test, I'm just going to use this again. Sure. And then one of the changes I'm going to make, I'm going to put the ring around the player. Ring around the player. I just hear that pocket full of posies thing. Let's see. Don't erase that. It'll do dumb things. Okay, we'll do that. And then we will set the player speed to slower. And then when it turns off, we'll set the player speed back to normal. There's no option to skip that. But they're not trying to move anyway. I'm glad I made the status ailment system because now it makes some of the attacks for the cold guys much better. Or like an Annabelle that, actually Annabelle that poisons things and a Jack that freezes things. And I might put them in there, or just slows things, I should say. Oh, let's just do this. Oh. Well, here's what I forgot to do. Remove the damage. Also, it never ends because it's the wrong timer. You know, listen, I was close. It's 4:07 a.m. I was close. That's it. That's all I do. I was close. If I get it in like 2-3 tries with a straight code copy and changing some variables, I guess that's good. Should have probably got it on the first try, but you know. Whatever. It's all good. Yeah. I ain't worried about it. Maybe a little. Ugh. Oh, that's right. I already had the built-in thing. Oh, it's perfect. I love it. I might get a better graphic for that, but I think that's something for another night. And now, being slowed, this character represents pretty much about how I am right now. Yes. So I'm going to change that event back so I don't forget. I'm going to make a copy of it so I have 2 of them, just so I don't have to... So I have something to work off of. Slow pool explosion, I guess. I'm going to have to make a graphic for it, but I don't care right now. And, we're going to turn this back so I don't forget. Let's see here. Spacebar should be easy. Poisoned. Yeah, that's all it takes. Nice. Alright, well, with that, I'm going to call it for the night. For anyone who watches this video, thanks for watching it. Hopefully you learned you can do things with RPGMaker that are overkill, probably dumb, and, you know, really complicated for reasons that I have no idea. And maybe you've been inspired to make your very own Diablo clone and RPGMaker? Yeah, you're probably not. Listen, JavaScript lets you do literally anything in here if you just have the will to do it. Then again, it's also kind of like moving a mountain one stone at a time. The mountain will eventually move, but probably not in your lifetime, which is probably how long it's going to take to finish this game and make it the quality of Diablo. It's never going to be that. It's going to be its own cool enough game for one guy. There you go. All right, and with that, I bid everyone good night.